Of a residential apartment building in downtown Kabul, Afghanistan, to kill the head of al-Qaeda. President Biden, who has COVID, spoke from an outdoor balcony here to announce this successful operation, claiming no civilian casualties.
No matter where you hide, if you are a threat to our people, the United States will find you and take you out.
Officials say they brought a model of the Kabul apartment building to the White House Situation Room to explain the operation. They had long been tracking the al-Qaeda leader and his family, who had moved to a Kabul safe house in the last year. Very few U.S. officials were aware of this mission, and the president ultimately gave the go-ahead 1 week ago. Lester?
Kelly O'Donnell, thank you. His signature was on many of the worst terrorist attacks of our time. Tonight, our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, with details.
Ayman al-Zawahiri was al-Qaeda's leader, succeeding Osama bin Laden, its public face in dozens of videos attacking the U.S. and its allies. He directed al-Qaeda's thinking, led its operations, was a key planner of the 9/11 attacks and the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings in East Africa.
We know that it was at Zawahiri's urging that bin Laden really took an interest in attacking the United States.
He meticulously planned mass murder, tried to arm al-Qaeda with weapons of mass destruction, and wrote its declaration of war against the U.S. His transformation into the world's most wanted terrorist had an unlikely start. He was born in 1951 into a wealthy Egyptian family of doctors and scholars. He became radicalized as a teenager after joining the fundamentalist Muslim Brotherhood before training to be a surgeon. At 31, he was one of hundreds arrested after the assassination of Egyptian President Anwar al-Sadat. He was tortured during 3 years in an Egyptian jail and left seeking revenge.
They intend to kill us.
By his mid-30s, he was a leader in Egypt's Islamic Jihad. He met the Saudi Osama bin Laden, who was fighting the Soviets in Afghanistan. They bonded. Zawahiri became bin Laden's personal doctor. By 1998, the Islamic Jihad and al-Qaeda merged, Zawahiri as second in command.
Bin Laden was a relative newcomer to the world of jihad. Zawahiri had well-established credentials. These two uniting up provided a team that could not be broken.
America was their next target, the World Trade Center in their sights. After 9/11, Zawahiri was seen in Afghanistan and then went into hiding, a $25 million reward on his head. He kept al-Qaeda alive as ISIS became the West's main target.
Islam, and we are calling
Pious, ruthless, the brains behind the world's worst terrorist attack. Even in his final video, he was calling on Muslims to attack America.
Richard, what is the significance that this strike took place in Kabul?
So there are indications that it took place not just in Kabul, but right in the center of Kabul, not far from the presidential palace. And the United States has been cooperating, and many people don't know this, with the Taliban in the fight against ISIS. But the counterterrorism cooperation against al-Qaeda has been very poor. So this seems like it was a target of opportunity for the Americans. The pinnacle of arrogance from the Taliban to host such a senior leader, and the United States sending a message to the Taliban that they won't tolerate the group once again hosting al-Qaeda.
Richard Engel with the breaking news tonight. Thank you. Also in Washington, a federal judge sentenced a convicted rioter who stormed the Capitol on January 6 to more than 7 years in prison. Guy Reffitt of Texas was armed with a gun and zip ties. In court today, he called himself an idiot and said he no longer wants to associate with militia groups. Days into a historic flash flood catastrophe, rescuers in Kentucky are still uncovering layers of death and misery. The death toll now at least 37. Tonight, new dramatic images of the desperate search and rescue operation. And Jesse Kirsch has exclusive access with the National Guard as they bring relief from the air.
In eastern Kentucky tonight, flood survivors getting food, water, even diapers by air. The National Guard delivering supplies, including donations to thousands of people still largely cut off from the world more than 4 days after deadly floodwaters tore eastern Kentucky apart.